Hey, everybody. Welcome to Insufferable Bastards. My name is Carlos Danger for the purposes of this broadcast. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Brian Spears. Hello, Brian.
Hello, hello.
So I got back from DabbleCon earlier today, Rochester, New York. Took me a good 5-6 hours to get there. Left this morning, got up there Thursday. Went to Utica Thursday. And then drove over to Rochester. Did the watched all the good stuff, left this morning, came back. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
What was the highlight of the weekend? When you arrived?
You're supposed to fucking ask me questions, man.
Well, right? All right. Well, I'm getting,
like, we got Dabblers Unanimous in the chat saying, I think I have seen this episode. It looks familiar. Hello there, Bill Loney. I met Bill Loney. That was definitely, you're asking me what the highlight of hello, Annie. The highlight of DabbleCon was just meeting everybody.
Okay. What time? Like when you arrived, like what time do you get there? Like because you checked, you had a hotel, you had a whole weekend planned.
Yeah. I got there, I don't know, Friday afternoon at some point. I went and I had to go find, buy beer and some sketchy bodega that had birds in it, like wild birds. But the best part was like meeting guys like Bill Loney. And this is only going to be like a 15-minute thing because I'm obviously not feeling so well. But I've never met, everybody was cool. Everybody was just, and a lot of people that I ran into, like at my hotel, there was, I go downstairs, Kinky Loco. I got to hang out with Kinky Loco for a bit. And then there was a guy, I called him Mr. Pink. Nobody was using their real names. It was Mr. Pink from North Carolina. Another guy, Adam, stuttering John quotes, from Michigan. It was interesting. They were all like you and I, old school Howard Stern fans.
Okay.
So a lot of the weekend was just talking about Howard Stern and then going and seeing comics related to Howard Stern. So it was cool. Bill Bixby says, glad you had fun. Yeah, it was definitely a good time. And Brian and I used to go to horror conventions back in the day. And you would go to a horror convention, and it was always fun to get there on a Friday, right? It would be like a 2 or 3 day convention. And Friday was the day to get there because the celebrities who were signing autographs would just be hanging out in the bar.
Yeah.
Drinking with the people who paid to get into the thing. It wasn't, nowadays, horror conventions, and I guess all shows are like this, you're charged to take a picture. Everything is about making a buck. But I will say, like, I had the chance to meet, and everybody there had the chance to meet the whole lineup, and everybody was down to earth. Everybody was cool. Everybody was acceptable. No, approachable. You know what I mean? Accessible. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Accessible, yeah.
Cardiff Electric is like a linebacker. He could have doubled as a bouncer if he needed to. Looked like a blast. Bill Loney. It was surreal meeting Cardiff. He killed. He did 5-minute stand-up set. Everyone, the place went nuts because everyone loves him so much.
Well, just like from the video I saw, I believe it was B Dabbler, El Horrible's wrap-up video type of thing. And that was the end of the night. I'll give him credit. It seemed pretty crowded, even for like the karaoke part of the show. So I'm assuming that was after the stand-up. So it looked like it was quite a big shindig. So to all the naysayers.
I got to credit El Horrible. He was like working during it because I didn't see his live stream until the next morning. So that was Friday night. I think he did that after the stand-up set. And I thought it was really entertaining the way he did that. I couldn't do something like that. I'm having trouble talking right now. But he did it sort of like a red carpet thing where he's interviewing random people.
Yeah.
Had a lot of energy. It was, Bob Levy doing karaoke. I was at the bar. I didn't even realize all that was going on behind me. So and here's one. Did Cardiff need the cane or was that a bit? I don't know.
Well, fill me in. Was Cardiff using a cane?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Brian, you weren't there. Yeah, Cardiff was using a cane, and he did stand up a lot to kind of. So maybe he has a back problem because he was standing up to go against the back wall. We got Why Do I Podcast? Kevin. I was supposed to do Kevin's show. Kevin had a bit of a rough go of it at DabbleCon, I think. Leave that to talk about on his show, should he choose.
Hey, what was
Everyone's
like?
talking to each
Do you have
other.
any idea what the people that you talked to and hung out with, like one of the farther travels that anyone had to do? I know that's a pretty dumb question, but like,
I sat during the Dabbies, the awards show, which was great
Okay.
because that was a thing where it was like, what are they going to do here? The Dabbies, but they gave out all these awards, like Oscar awards for like the year in Stuttering John, and it was laugh out loud hilarious. I was dying.
nice.
You know, I guess the Uncle Rico team, they did a really good job editing his videos and making them even funnier, you know, with all kinds of commentary thrown in. But I was sitting at the table with the guy from Florida. So there are people
Okay.
there from Florida, I guess at least 2 people from Florida, Michigan, like I said, North Carolina, California. They came from all over the place.
Oh, see, that's kind of cool. Now, what about? Was there any talk of what's going to happen if John doesn't ever come back?
Why do I podcast? I don't hate you, Kevin. I'm sorry. No, that really didn't come up. I mean, it was more just the celebration. It was just, everyone was just laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The 2 live podcasts was really cool. And I think for me, like one of the, I mean, aside from meeting all the people, and everybody was cool. Like I can't say that enough, how just friendly and funny everybody was. But like watching, so at one point they're playing the famous Howard Stern clip where Stern is, you know, in the Jackie era, berating John after John had his failed attempt at WXRK radio, and he's telling him you're not funny, you're never going to amount to anything, you're terrible, and all that. And so they played that clip, and everybody was, you know,
Is it where he's the priest? Like, hello, hello.
no, it was just. I mean, the episode's been released. It was just one of those things where he told him he's a loser and he's not funny. And when you try to be funny, the thing is, like, I make you funny. He was saying we've all seen it, but to have Anthony Cumia there, you know, what are the 2 biggest radio shows of all time? Howard Stern and the O&A show, right? So to have Cumia there commenting on this classic Stern bit was just sort of surreal, as like, you know, just a fan of of radio. So that was really cool. People are saying I love that clip. I'll beat up L for you. Yeah, there was a dramatic moment there where El Harible was doing his live stream, and I guess, I mean, Kevin, I don't know what happened, but I guess Kevin went to shake his hand, and El Harible wasn't having it. But then that got back. I had heard that there was like an assault, or either I spread that rumor. I'm not really sure what happened.
That's awesome.
Because I had to ask Kinky Loco the next day. I was like, did you hear something about like there was like a fight between El Harible? And he's like, well, no, you said something about that. I was like, oh wait, no. But then he gave me the actual history. So anyway, that was really cool.
Where now, did you find the stand up? Like, what did you prefer, the stand up or the like? What was, or they
See,
were
I'm
just
a
so
weirdo.
different?
I'm a weirdo. Like I gotta say, I prefer the live podcasts, like them commenting on the stuff. That's just a personal preference. Stand up comedy was good. I know there's like, hey, look, I thought it was Kevin. Tevin going drunk of the year. Hey.
I mean, but you're at a convention or DabbleCon. You're supposed to get wasted. It's, you're celebrating Stuttering John.
Right. Yeah, it's hard not to. But why did you make a big deal? Oh wait, I didn't see any of this. Mystery Theater. Oh, now I'm whispering the comments. I'll let people in the chat have at it there. But yeah, I mean, I know there's stuff on, in various places saying the stand-up sucked and this sucked and everybody's fighting over everything. But I laughed my ass off. Like from start to finish, I had a good time. I didn't know what to expect going in, but there was a lot to do. That was the other thing. I was like, well, what am I going to do all day? But it kept you busy, Well,
that's what was going to be my question. What did you do in Rochester? Like, I mean, or were you at this location the whole time pretty much?
Well, you could be like, I was jumping back and forth with the Ubers, but Saturday was pretty busy. I mean, Saturday was like stuff started at 2:00. Okay. Right? You had the Uncle Rico.
So that was a real deal all day kind of for DabbleCon.
Yeah, then they had a meet and greet, and then it was immediately into the Dabbies. So you're talking like an 8-hour stretch there where you could have just been in the comedy club. I guess that's what, it was like an all-day thing. I went back and skipped the meet and greet Because you met everybody the night before.
You met everybody.
They were all kind of there. Even Dr. Steve, who I've never met. I got some
you have to pay for the meet
free
and greet?
drink things from him.
Do you have to pay for a meet and greet, or is that part of the ticket?
That was the VIP thing. If you got a VIP thing, you could go in.
Right.
But it looked like, people weren't leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were staying there the whole day. It was definitely, and that's the other thing. I guess there's like, was it crowded? Was it not crowded? It was crowded.
Listen, I'm going to say
from
the videos, from videos that I've seen and the chatter I've heard or pictures from, it definitely seemed like there was people. So anyone that said that this was going to be a flop, mainly, what's that guy, Chad Zumock, kept saying it was going to be a big fail. It seemed like there was definitely a little bit of a surprise. Also, everyone, it seemed like a lot of people traveled to be there. This was a destination spot.
And it did feel like, if you were there, and that's the thing. If you went to Rochester this weekend, you wanted to be there.
Well, yeah. I
mean? So you're ready to laugh. You know what I'm saying?
I know when I got home from work, it was, I think, 2 degrees. So I can't even imagine what it was up there.
Yeah, it was cold. But, you get used to it. It wasn't.
But, it's Rochester, too. So Rochester people are used to that up there. So, they're that's nothing to them.
I stood outside for my Uber for 10 minutes, and it wasn't the end of the world. You know what I mean? It was
one night, right? It was one night.
Right.
Friday into Saturday, Saturday night, right? I even saw some snow.
Yeah, it was definitely, I had to clear off my car when I left this morning. So we have okay, Bill, you talking? I thought he was talking about me for a second. Bill Loney. Yeah, Bill Loney was awesome. He had people signing his sweatshirts and stuff like that. So he was awesome. But,
hey, could you get swag there? Was there any cool swag?
I'm cheap, but you could buy T-shirts. I got my poster, my free poster, and I bought a coaster.
All right.
Who are these podcasts? Coaster.
But now, was anything that said the official DabbleCon? So if this becomes a numbered event, do you have something from the first DabbleCon?
I don't know. I'm just looking at there's the piece of corn making the appearance. Did you see that? Steel Toe Chad was live, and Steel Toe sent his whole chat in, and everyone just started posting corn.
No, but
did you see Corn Diff's interview with Chad?
Yeah, I have so many questions that we'll have to talk when we're not on air about. But yes, I watched the Chad thing the other day, the Chad Corn Diff thing, I guess right when that was fairly new. And then I watched, you had sent me some clips, but I don't get Chad's, things.
Yeah, well, I guess he was on a spree blocking people left and right. He got his busting on him is a segment of WATP, and that happened. There was a couple of people dressed up as him.
I saw that in videos. One guy
had he had the shirt, the hat. He made his own shirt. He made his own shirt.
It was a dead ringer.
He looked skinny Chad, who I think won the Stuttering John impersonation contest. So there was at least 2 of them. So those guys were awesome.
Hey, you got a question? Why was Chad upset with Carlos during his live?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't troll Chad. I watch his stuff, and I have no idea. I'll be honest with you. We've talked about him on this podcast just like we are right now, but I don't go in there and I don't know. I thought we were having, he was taking a shit on DabbleCon, and I think it's funny and interesting to hear his perspective on DabbleCon, because it's like he's kind of connected to Bob Levy. They do a show together, and so he's dumping on, so I don't know. He just got, I can play that.
You got to play that because I think it's genius. I think it's awesome.
It made me laugh. It did hurt my feelings. I'll be
honest. Really? Because I thought coming from him. Oh, I thought it was completely funny.
I was answering honest questions in his chat about DabbleCon. Like I was like, yeah, Chad, you're right. It is a cult, but it's fun. It is weird. It's dumb to be here. I totally acknowledge dropping, $500 on a rental car, $500 on a hotel room. You know what I mean? It was stupid, but I would do it again because it was fun. I just laughed all weekend.
Bastards podcast. Ooh, edgy. You guys are so edgy. Edgy. I should just block. I don't like you either. You're a fucking dork. Why do you show up in here? Get out of here.
Because I like your content.
So did he block you?
No, he hasn't blocked me.
Oh,
I'm going to block you on Twitter, too. Your tweets suck. You're not funny.
He's not wrong.
Insufferable bastards.
I'm not going to say he's wrong. I do not claim to be funny.
I thought that was the funniest he's ever been.
He was good. Yeah, he was sort of on fire. Oh, and here's is there another one? I gotta share one more. And then I might just wrap this up because my throat's killing me. Probably coughed something up there. There's this. You guys, you seen that?
That's from Rick. Stuck Joe Depot. Can't wait for WATP to dunk on you today. Bunch of fucking dorks. Carl from Cuckchester. That's from Rick.
So yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention.
He just comes off as such a bitter guy that wasn't, like the pretty girl didn't ask him to the prom, so he's angry at all women.
Well, it was like, I mean, again, I was in his chat and he was talking about DabbleCon, and I was answering honestly, like not being. I was just, why am I here? Stutcho Depot got in there. I forgot, and then leveled an insult, and then he turned his. I think he turned his anger towards me because Stutcho Depot trolled him a little bit. Newly sober people aren't very fun to be. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, but isn't he? I mean, he's the perfect person to troll because of these reactions. That's what you're like. Doesn't he realize he gives that's what I don't understand about.
Well, I think it's like Earl Skakel said when we had him on.
He's the perfect heel.
Yeah, he enjoys it. Like Jim Florentine said in that great interview with Husey, he enjoys this. Like he enjoys being in constant war with people.
And I actually like him when he gets angry like this.
Yeah, I'm just catching up on these. But hostile even. I know another streamer who stopped drinking suddenly and it wasn't pretty. Why would a community based around trashing a raging drunk like and support? Ooh. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
These things happen.
Man, I'm glad
there's definitely, I guess there was a falling out between Kevin and Obnoxious John. Obnoxious John's I had the pleasure of meeting him too. He's another good guy, but maybe they'll be able. I don't know if it's like broken forever, or if they'll be able to fix it or something like it. I don't know.
I mean, it's
Stella Bryant says, I think it's all wrestling talk.
It
was bizarre. I don't mean to keep interrupt you, but it was weird to like be in the cocoon of DabbleCon where everyone's laughing, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time. All the performers are mingling with the crowd. It was just a good time. And then to go back on Twitter like today, and it's just like everybody's raging at each other. It's a failure. This person's not funny. This person's terrible. It's like, whoa. But it does feel a little like.
But isn't that part of the whole universe? That's what kind of makes this a little fun. I mean, I don't want to see anyone tear each other apart. But hey, listen, as a guy that used to go to a ton of horror conventions, I'm just glad we didn't have these live streams that we do now because, the whole reason you go to these things is to let your hair down and have a little fun and, maybe not remember the night before, but have fun doing it.
Right. Yeah. And you hopefully you don't.
You hope you don't do something stupid, but sometimes it happens.
Embarrassing. Yeah. D Gulag, he had almost 200 viewers, made over $300 in super chat today. It was weird to say, hey, good for that. Good for Chad. Yeah. Yeah, I did offer OJ. I told him I had an extra bed, but we didn't make it happen. I felt if I kept on saying that to him, he was going to think I was being creepy.
He was going to think it was a little weird.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I kept on saying if he had thoughts on the leaked sets. I mean, I was there. I laughed, I mean, I can't say I remember everything, I've been wearing this I mean, I sink right now. I've been wearing this freaking sweatshirt for like a week. But, I mean, I thought I laughed. I thought everybody did a good job. I'm not, I was in the mood to laugh, though. I was at DabbleCon. So I don't know what people are thinking. Tony, what do you think of the leak sets? I mean, what's like if people who are just watching it, what are they saying?
Oh, there's leaked sets, so I got to check this out.
Oh yeah. There's a YouTube page, and then like somebody from Radio Gunk was in a Radio Gunk message board, sort of giving updates.
Oh, really? Now, was anyone else, because the one thing I do have a complaint about as a guy that's not in this world and did not attend because of work, but all you guys went away for the weekend. So there wasn't much, there's usually something going on a weekend. We might do something on a weekend.
I know, now the poor people are stuck with us muttering.
I know, like as the recap,
this
is the recap. One guy that didn't go and one guy barely remembers being there. But like, it was weird just to see the whole weekend kind of quiet. I was trying to keep as much information. Again, I'm not on I'm not on Twitter or anything like that. But
you got to get on Twitter.
I'm not gonna.
Don't do it under your real name.
I wouldn't even know how to turn that on. But I just thought it was funny in the sense that like the whole weekend was Dabbler quiet on my end because I couldn't get anything.
Well, yeah, we even had a guy post something on our page saying, are we going to be live streaming or something? I tried to do podcasts from the hotel. I couldn't get an internet connection. I was supposed to do one with Kevin, and then I don't know. I'm Irish, right? So I don't want to. Filming in a bar to me is taboo, So I don't want to do a live stream from a bar,
Well, that's my other question.
Mondo Vapey said he saw me in the back of El Harible's live stream, and I was like, ugh, I didn't consent to that. God damn it! But so, this is an interesting comment. Bill Bixby, AA is a real drunkie. I did when I got to my hotel. It turned out Anthony was also a guest there.
Okay,
so I did have a surreal moment where I walked downstairs and he's sitting at the booth next to the bar. You know what I mean? And I got to tell him about the time he interviewed me on air, and he vaguely remembered the issue that I had talked about with him. So that was pretty, but I'll tell you, he was, again, totally down to earth. Like the guy, he was who he was. It was like, oh,
yeah.
It was it was surreal. And yeah, he was having a couple of beers.
He was having a couple, putting them back. But he's known to do that.
Oh, I didn't see this. Is that on his, is that Patreon only? I was a Patreon, but I dropped out a little while ago. I saw his tweet saying, I guess people did that to him. He's doing it to them. Your guys' inside is better. You're not so involved in the drama. Drama is why we're here. Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it is fun. It's okay. We won't correct your grammar. It's no big deal. I saw it on YouTube. Yeah, I saw the sets on YouTube, but I guess Chad did a specific.
Well, who could he make fun of? Because he's got to be. Now I'm curious.
Well, Chrissy Mayer went up there.
Oh, all right, okay.
So I'm sure he has things to say about that. I was looking forward to meeting Frank Pellegrino, but he didn't. I don't think he was there. I think I texted him at
he wasn't
midnight.
In the back.
It's probably
Matt,
creepy.
Running the show somehow.
You are not blocked. But yeah. Anyway, you have any questions, Brian? Because you weren't there. Do you have any questions, thoughts?
You've kind of brought up a lot. I guess my thing. You answered the thing. I think I would have enjoyed the podcast more than anything. So it was nice to hear that they did that. And what were the Dabbies or whatever? They're just awards, and will they be announced somewhere? Will I hear more about these?
I have no idea. I guess they're releasing this stuff. I think it was all. Definitely the audio was captured because they released the wire. Who are these podcasts? They record there on Saturday afternoon. So
and do they have crossover shows? Or were they all up there together? Did they do a show? Who are these podcasts? And then Uncle Rico
went first. Uncle Rico, did their thing, but it was they had rotating guests. Okay. You know what I mean? So Uncle Rico had a bunch of people on, and then Who's Podcast had a bunch of their regulars on, in addition to whoever was there. I know I'm not making a lot of sense because I don't remember exactly, but it was good. But it was very good. And the Dabbies, again, that was the thing I was like, I was half thinking, well, you before you get your second wind, you're like, all right, wait, I'm going to leave and then come back for these Dabby Awards. What are these Dabby Awards? And I thought it was probably it was great. They did like Stuttering John's best technical failure. You know what I mean? Like his funniest tech issue and stuff. And Levy was great. And I should also say that I'm going to check the Ken Otto story out. It was hilarious. Levy coming in and closing the stand-up from Friday night. He was good, man. Because I remember I saw Levy. I saw Shuley and Levy back when they did Killers of Comedy, and it was a different experience. It wasn't really it was like the venue was terrible. It was in like a municipal building. It was like seeing them in a high school auditorium, and it was like restrictive. But Levy did his blue cheese thing, which just felt like, I don't know if I was married or if I was dating at that time.
It seemed like an assault back then.
I was like, this is not good. What am I doing here? But like to see Levy on Friday night, I mean, he was just great. And he was a little drunk, I assume, but he was good. People are still all right. I guess the drama is I didn't think it was going to go this way, but a lot of questions about the incident with WDIP. Levy isn't great. He just he just reminds us of better times. Yeah, you might be right. But I think back to the glory days of the Stern Show before I had 9 chins and a blotchy skin like crazy. But you might be right. Fun fact. Wait, here's another one. Asparagus makes everyone's pee stink, but not everyone has the receptor sensitive. I'm done. Ken Otto is the new meta. Yeah, I didn't know who Ken Otto was until El Horrible started bringing him up all the time. And I did check out one of his streams. Brian, you've never seen Ken Otto, right? He's a Stuttering John fan of the political commentator Stuttering John. Like, I don't know if you ever followed him when he was on the Stern Show. I don't know much about Ken Otto, so I might be talking out of my butt here. But he does like this it's a long live stream. And actually, I can't throw stones because it's exactly what we're doing, where he's not prepared and he just kind of reads the chat and he has these long silences and he's just like reading the news, and it's very left leaning, so it's just as obnoxious as any political show, know. But he's worth checking out. Brandon says, "I'm sure you were still ugly." Hey, Brandon says, "Lil Dogs Unleash WDIP, why did you wait a second. See how stories get blown out of proportion? I don't think that's what happened. We're talking about self-mutilation. I mean, that's probably just got us some type of strike. Oh, wait. Slightly Off Axis podcast by Kenneth Otto. Oh, is that what it's called? I thought it was called something else. I've only watched one episode. And it was like he kept saying that the whole thing was like, all right, we're going to end it now, and he would go on for like another 20 minutes. And his whole setup, it looks like he looks like maybe he's like a retired music teacher or something like that. He's got a piano in the back. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Just that's the vibe he gives off, like a librarian or a music teacher. Oh, here's one. How about Kevin Brennan and John's text messages? That was funny. All right, so I am totally out of the loop because I was traveling Thursday, Friday, and then I was locked in a hotel room Saturday, Sunday. The last Misery Loves Company that I listened to was on the ride back from Rochester where they had Alex Stein on. So I'm not 100% sure. I know
they did another one Saturday morning. He did one Saturday.
Do you know what Tony Sal's talking about here? Because I don't.
I don't, but he
was negotiating over money, I think. Is that what it was, Tony? Oh, wrong, Ken Otto. Yeah, I think what Tony is referring to, Brennan had talked weeks ago about getting Stuttering John on his podcast this weekend, which I think that would have been great. And I think John wasn't willing. He wanted a certain amount of money. I guess there was negotiations, something like that. So I guess that's the thing about, like, my only complaint about Kevin Brennan is that, like, he if you don't catch him on YouTube,
yes,
you gotta. Of course, it disappears. But if you do the Patreon, there's also a bit of a delay. Like I would wish that. I wish he.
But I don't know how it's gonna work too, because now he does like 4 days a week. And again, Saturday I was just tired. So like I just completely didn't, and I was kept checking and checking. And then for a while there, I just stopped checking YouTube. I went and tried to have watch a normal movie or TV show. And then I came on and he was just talking about Chad, saying, well, I'm not even in the Chad business. I mean, I don't really like the guy. Like, so he was bashing Chad. And then I had to go somewhere, so I had to get out of there. But I was very upset that I missed that. It was all by himself, too. So he had no guests on that one.
Oh,
so
I saw that one. Is that when he looked like he was almost in a doctor's office, right? There was like a painting behind him. I think I saw that one.
It was all I know. It was Saturday afternoon. It was Saturday afternoon. That's all I know.
Oh, the one I saw was Wednesday. All right, Tony Sal says, yeah, John wanted 10K to do the podcast.
What?
And Kevin Brennan said, no wonder everyone hates you. Kevin Brennan is the GOAT. That guy's the best.
10K. See, you go on there for free and come on.
Freedom, speech, and you. Yes, thank you, Bill Loney. That's the name of it. Kevin found out the hard way that OJ isn't in water sports.
All right. That one's funny.
It also was kind of funny. Like at DabbleCon, this whole incident like spread so quickly through the rumor mill, and it was just like
it's like the kid at camp. I don't know, man. I guess it has to happen to somebody.
There's Ray DeVito. God bless Ray DeVito. The last thing I did before going into unconsciousness last night. I actually went up to the hotel. I listened to Ray's latest podcast on Patreon. Brennan pretty hilarious while interrogating Florentine. Yeah. I love Ray DeVito. Check out Ray DeVito's Dry Bar special, damn it. I watched my son. You can introduce your kid, if you have any, to stand-up comedy. Because it's Dry Bar is clean. So many. Kevin, you got to do a live stream, I think.
Yeah, man.
We're mooching off you. Anyone need a roadcaster? But I don't remember what I was saying. What was that? A mating call to pies on someone's clothes? Ray's a good boy. Yeah, is that a reference to Kevin Brennan? Or am I just... I hate myself more than any of you. Don't worry about it, Kevin. I did go. I was dressed like this. I guess the hotel I was in, they had like a restaurant. They were kind of full of themselves. It was like, I guess, a little cosmopolitan. They had a bar on the 9th floor that I went to. And I like walked in there. It was like a singles bar. And there's some lady celebrating her 40th birthday. And I just stumbled in from DabbleCon. They were nice to me,
on the 9th floor? Was it like a did you have to get fancy dressed?
Everybody in there was dressed nicely. It was like a night out,
hilarious.
Clearly. Like a singles bar. It was definitely like, I guess this is a destination spot. My steak was like $52 too. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. But yeah, I threw in some white trash. All right, let's just see what's going on. Yeah, that was it. That was the one. Yeah, it was fine. I guess they're closing down for a week to do renovations. But did I miss anybody here?
Char steaks are amazing.
I don't know. Well, all right. I'm not gonna. I felt like they were just charging me for the sauce. Bill Loney, wish you're there, Spears. Yeah, Spears, you should have showed up, man.
Well, I gotta have to work. Tell them next time to do it in Albany, and I might be able to make it after work.
KU had no idea what I was talking about. Neither did I. Not exactly sure what that. Oh, it's in reference to Brandon. Ray DeVito telling Esther Koo all about Red Bar for an hour is tops. Oh, but anyway. Oh, the one last thing I'll say is like after the last show last night, after the Abbeys, people kind of. I don't know if I can post some of these. I'll just post this one. People cleared out a little quickly since they had been there all day, and I was just sitting alone, like a total loser. But I was like done. I was done. And Vinny Paulino came over, like made it a point to just come over. I thought that was so cool. I mean, he was making sure I wasn't. Yeah, I talked to him for a second. Really nice guy. So, this is a great one from Shoeless Anonymous. Kevin, come on Reddit and do an AMA. Fans want answers.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a great one. Brian, I'm sure you were in Shuli's Anonymous all weekend.
I didn't look this weekend, but I'll have to go back. That's my favorite one.
It's the only thing. So Brian is a AOL email, and he loves that. Vinny was awesome. Yeah, a really nice guy. He had personally guaranteed everyone would have a good time, and I feel like he personally delivered.
And the location seemed really cool. It seemed nice and big.
Yeah, it was a great place.
You know, as somebody, you know, from the outside looking in, like I figured it would be a small, tiny place, and this was way more upgraded and looked like a brand new place.
Yeah, I can get into the zoning. You want to talk about the zoning? It was a former microphone factory. It's part of a redevelopment project. Probably got some grants to get some cool little businesses in there. It's still underway.
I'm just trying to change the
Parts
subject
maybe
because Kevin's getting killed.
According to the... Great new. It is a great venue. Did Vinny do a set? Yes, Vinny did a set. I thought he was funny. Just let someone pee on you and you feel... Yeah, Kevin, there's the answer. We'll all just come by your place. You should do a live stream. Maybe save that for Rumble, where everyone gets a chance to pee on you. There's Chairman Meow. Good evening, sir. Bring it. Yeah, all right, so he's agreed. Did I do this one already? Man, I don't know how these guys... I can't read comments and talk, but maybe that's... Yeah, geez, we were saying earlier, I was complimenting Elhar Replay because I was impressed with his live stream. I saw it Saturday morning, and I thought he made it kind of cool, doing like a little Academy Awards type presentation and talking to a bunch of people. Oh, here's Ray DeVito. Did you answer why the Cavs hat? It's my homage to Chad Zumock. I tried to cosplay as Chad, but nobody picked up on it. I was wearing a really ugly sweater vest, and that's why I had to leave because I was like overheating. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Got a little hot in there. Ryan Sharman, first Christmas Eve, and now this. Yeah, OJ can't win. OJ's the nicest guy in the world. We should talk. Yeah. The guy just wants to laugh, talk about the old Stuttering John, the Howard Stern show, and
well, I mean, the one thing Kevin does great is weekend promotions. He does something over a weekend, and then like everyone's dying to know hear his next show.
He wasn't happy at all. That's true. That happened. We got that. Oh, geez. Hello, KB. Belloni, have OJ on. Yeah, I would love to. We've talked a long time about doing, maybe picking out some Howard Stern stuff and doing some type of show with OJ. Oh, wow. So that will be, Levy was saying the next DabbleCon will be will be in Vegas. So who knows? But it was 100% worth it. Yeah, driving from, I went from Connecticut to Utica thinking I could avoid the storm, but it hit me Friday morning, like 11 to 1 p.m. on freaking whatever that is, I-90 or whatever the hell it was.
I-90, yeah.
It was just like driving in dust. Had to pull over. Caleb, how come you guys never invited me on? We have so. Is that Dabblers Unanimous?
No, Caleb John.
I'll go to that one. Oh. Adam Goldstein. All right. That's it. I got nothing else. You got anything else, Brian? I just wanted to come in and do a quick show just saying how much I loved DabbleCon, and that was really it. I had to go put my kids to bed. Tomorrow's Monday. I don't even know. Should I release audio only on this one? I don't think it probably doesn't make sense.
You're more in touch with that than me.
All right, everybody. There's KB makes a called You would only hope that it would affect just you.
It just
it's when you affect somebody else, that's when it kind of sucks.
And like a crowd like that, it travels fast.
Yeah, it was part of the drama.
That's why you get your own room. This is why, you get your own room because, hey, I pissed in a drawer here and there before, but no one has to know that except for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's the lesson out of DabbleCon 2023. Get your own room. Let's end with that.
They make enough in Super Chats, you bastards. You can afford your own room.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I did no money raising for this. I went on my own dime. All right. See you. Thank you so much for making us laugh in the chats. I do love the fact, whatever. These are funnier than anything I could ever say. Cranberry Electric. So when's the next show at Why Do I? Oh, Caleb wants to go on WDIP. Okay, there you go. Hey, that looks like a younger photo of the Dabblers Unanimous guy. So what's the damn drama? All right.
All right.
I'm getting like Ken Otto.